Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, okay, I know it's mostly boys, welcome lads. Yeah, so you might have already seen this little Leakosaurus Rex. Yeah, there's some leaks going on in Broken Arrow, which is really exciting. This post does not exist. I like your style. I like what you've done there, Mr. Dependent Lost 2392, who's a top commenter. Cool. Now, there's a lot of spoilers coming up, so if you don't want to know about the future of the game, which I think you'd be crazy not to be curious, then look away. I hope I don't get banned. I mean, here's another point. It's kind of suspiciously long, so I did see this last night, but I thought I'd make a video about it. First thing in the morning, 10 o'clock. Don't worry, I'm on leave. I'm not pulling a sickie to do videos for you guys, even though that is something I would be prepared to do, Mr. MOD. Yeah, anyway, so suspicious that this has not been banned or blocked yet. I did download all the photos last night and put it into a nice, neat folder for you all, because the alternative, is, yeah, looking through like this, which you can't really see the full screen. There's also been quite a few more leaks here and there, some more discussions, which we're gonna look into and analyze like so. So let's go into the File Explorers and have a look in my super sophisticated gallery software. So there, forget about it. Good film, Men in Black, I like it. Now, yeah, this is okay. This is cool. So the Spetsnaz Alpha is going to be the answer that Russia has really waited for the Delta Force. This is going to be the answer. Obviously, AN-94s have been featured already. Really cool weapon. By the way, watch Forgotten Weapons on that weapon. Let me just close that Discord. There we go, because it's getting in my way. But AN-94. Yeah, look at my YouTube. Here's a video that's coming out later today. Cool. War International. If you haven't seen The Boys, do watch it. Also, House of Dragon. Amazing stuff. But anyway, oh yeah, Star Wars. AN-94 Forgotten Weapons. So if you look at Gun Jesus... Oh, there we go. I've already watched this.
Hi guys, thanks
look
for
at this
tuning
guy.
in to another video on Forgotten
He is
Weapons.
great. It's actually a very interesting weapon just from an engineering point of view in itself. I really do like it. It's a really cool, yeah, some crazy engineering, super expensive and difficult to make, which is why you don't see many of those weapons in game. But anyway, enough about weapons. I'm not a gun nut. Yeah, so a good 14-man healthy tanky squad. So America has the Marine Raiders. Looks like Russia's getting Spetsnaz Alpha. So obviously this is going to be in the assault sort of long-range capability. Only one smoke, but yeah, standard stealth, standard vision for infantry, but a lot of armor and a lot of health. So that is one tanky squad. Here we go. We see it in its other configuration, which we're going to talk about in a second. There's the enhanced view of that. So I don't know what a Shak 12 is, and I actually had to Google it because I've never even heard of this weapon. Again, probably one of those rare Soviet projects that became a Special Forces icon. But as you can see, it's kind of interesting. Obviously, the RPG-26 we're all familiar with, as with the KSK. So this is kind of a CQB, anti-infantry, anti-tank squad for 100 points. That's insane. This is going to be super tanky for any jump out boys that you want. This is going to be the elite squad. Now, no Russian armored vehicles can obviously carry 14 men, unless you got 2 BMPs and managed to split the squad somehow. But yeah, you're going to have to jump. Basically, it's going to be a logistical nightmare, just like the Marine Raiders. That 14 men, you can't really fit them into any vehicle, apart from supply trucks. Now, Russia does have some capable supply trucks of doing that. So the Ural and the big Ural, the big Kamaz, whatever, that can fit them in. Helicopters, obviously, most of them can as well. Not the attack helicopters, but yeah, the smaller ones. But you're just going to have the same issue where I don't think these guys are going to be used as much as you might expect, even though they are insane. I mean... this is a great squad. They lack a machine gun, but yeah, they've got that mini grenade launcher. When you look at the rifle as well, 4.5 damage. That is huge. So it's, what, is it a 12.7? Oh, okay, so it's a 50 cal assault rifle, is it? That's mental. Wait, we got to check this out. Oh, that's my recording software. What was it? The Shak 12? Oh, okay, he doesn't even have... Oh... We got this guy firing the 50 cal. I know Brandon Herrera,
We've got that.
He's tried to build a 50 cal AK-50, he's called it. But yeah, this is a 50 cal bullpup rifle. You gotta admit that is cool. That is a big boy bullet that's gonna do a lot of damage. FSB's next generation assault rifle. Okay, that makes sense. I did have a quick Google of pictures, and oh yeah, wait, hold on. This is Alpha fighting against Delta, and I think outside of CQB, because they obviously don't have flashbangs, outside of CQB, so in a forest, or which is what this is, or out in the open, Alpha is gonna win every single time. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Sorry, that is shocking quality. Forgive me. There we go. That's a bit better. No, but yeah, obviously that is a 50 cal mag. Did it say how many rounds in the magazine? 30 rounds in the magazine. Oh yeah, all the writing is in Russian because the guy who leaked it is a Russian tester, allegedly, apparently. We hope he doesn't get banned, because we do like leaks. But again, it is suspicious that they haven't taken, like, Steel but like, haven't taken down the post. It's a smart thing to do. It's a nice little idea, isn't it? To, like, accidentally leak something and get us all very excited about the future of BA. Yeah, look at this combat Barbie. Look at this warrior with his little beer belly. Yeah, I just wanted to see, yeah, how the gun looks like with a guy. So not exactly a CQB gun. You don't go clearing buildings with a big, massive 50 cal. So yeah. Now a lot of these units, there's the Alpha group there. There's I suppose the Bravo group. Again, all Spetsnaz, all the FSB special forces, and like FBI's divisions. I don't really know. I'm not an expert on these sorts of things, but we do know about a lot of these units already. Not much of this is going to be a massive shock to us. We have had these leaks for a really long time, but now we're actually seeing them in-game for the first time, which is the biggest difference. So we still know a lot of these American units will be coming out. I'm very excited for the Navy SEALs, and you're going to see why. But like the Tomcat, we've known about this since the start. We've had graphics of it in-game from before even the launch of the game, which happened more than 6 months ago now. So there we go. We also have a lot of other units. This is what was in the open beta, but didn't actually make it into the actual release of the game. So again, stuff that we are fully expecting to see. I can't remember what the code is for the green and the blue squares, or purple squares, but yeah. Essentially, again, this is units that we are very aware of that haven't just made it to the final cut. Like the Panzer. Now this wheeled Panzer is going to be absolutely clutch. I can't wait to see that in game, because obviously you get the mobility, and the firepower of the Panzer is well known. Everybody knows that it's insane. It's great on the Tunguska configuration, but now we're going to get it on a speedy little truck. And yeah, that's going to make a huge difference, because everybody loves the Tor, the Navy DT-30 vehicle, the one that, it goes 50 kilometers an hour, super slow. You can put the Tor or the Panzer on that, but it's beefy, can take a seed missile as well, but it's just too damn slow. So this is going to be a bit of a game changer for Russia. Now, Navy SEALs. This is what I'm super excited about. I mean, look at the stats for this team. This is going to be crazy. You have, for 100 points, might seem expensive for a 4-man squad, and it is, but bear in mind that this is going to be unbelievably beefy. Now, I'm confused about the stealth. That's one thing I've got to get off my chest straight away, and the vision. If they've got a laser designator, which by the way does work as a binocular as well, surely the vision's got to be higher. Now, when the stealth is standard for the all infantry, when they're underwater as well, surely that stealth has got to be really good too. So they can swim, they can sprint, they can smoke, and they can laser designate, which makes them so much better than PDSS, which is a similar price. Yeah, rifles are really good. They're going to be very good for room clearing. Look, flashbangs, bang. Yeah, they are going to be an absolute deadly squad in clearing rooms. They've got a Morse. That is very good against armor. They've got a Stinger. It's basically like a mini GRU squad. Yeah, okay, GRU is twice the size. It's 8 men, and it costs 130, so not proportional. But this has a lot of versatility as well. I'm really, I think out of all the squads that's going to be mentioned in all the units that will be updated, this is the one I'm really excited for. I also wonder, if they can swim, can they fire this from the water? That's going to be a crazy one, isn't it? Yeah, so we're going to have to wait and see about that. I wonder if the stealth is going to be slightly increased. They should be sneaky, but I don't know how stealthy a wetsuit is in a forest, So, but again, the PDSS has got 2.5? Can't remember. Stealth, so we're going to have to wait and see. KA226 is just a small little bird, basically exactly the same as a little bird, 30 points, does the same job. The dual coaxial rotor thing, which is really cool, great engineering, so yeah, excited to see that. And it looks like, I don't know which helicopter tab it's going to be in. Oh, KA60 as well, by the way, I didn't see that earlier. But yeah, there we go. When we look at the picture as well, we've got, yeah, there's the Spetsnaz and FSB, which we will talk about later. But here's the Navy SEALs as well. So they are actually in-game. They clearly just don't have the models for them. So don't expect to see them too soon. And those models don't look too convincing to me. It is all work in progress. So what this means is we know that in January or end of January, we're going to get the Baltics update, hopefully. We know that Broken Arrow and Slytherin and Steel Ball aren't the best with punctuality, so we can't exactly say when this will actually come out. Like these units, these you know, the Estonian, Lithuanian, and Latvian. Almost forgot the third country in the Baltics. So the Baltic states countries, we've had these units since the launch of the game in the editor. This is not new news, but this is the first time we're seeing this accidental wink leak. Also, the KA60 is basically like the Russian version of a Black Hawk, so that's going to be exciting to see how that performs in game too. So the problem I'm seeing here, though, is that we are getting a bit of... so we're quite used to having this asymmetry of warfare, which is what makes this game so good. It's not just a copy and paste job, change the flag, in they go. The asymmetrical warfare is really good, but by doing this, is the symmetry getting a bit too close? Again, this is just a little bit. And potentially the answer for that could be yes, which would be a massive shame. I really don't want it to be... I want 50-50 balance, but I don't want symmetrical warfare. I want asymmetric warfare. So there we go. Bit controversial, but we'll see. Also KA50, so the predecessor of the KA52, the prototype, if you will. What's interesting, please skip this if you don't care about military history, but the KA50 was designed to be the first helicopter with ejection seats for pilots, which is crazy. The KA52 was the successor of that. And yeah, what happened was they were like, the systems on board are so good that we can only have one pilot to control this entire helicopter. Now, during combat testing, they realized that the workload of the guy flying and firing, so the gunner and the pilot role, was too much for one person, even with all the fancy new equipment. So that's why the KA52 came along with two men side by side in the cockpit. Yeah, they actually found the Mi-28, which is an older design, performed better than the KA50, which was a newer design. So again, that was because of the two men sharing the workload of the cockpit. Yeah, anyway, bit of trivia for you, because yeah, flying and target finding at the same time, I can imagine that to be quite a lot of work. There we go, so the Gaz Tigers, they're just like the Typhoon VDV, very similar sort of vehicle. There we go, 30 mil scouting vehicle. It's going to have very similar characteristics, but of course the difference is that it's got very different loadouts. So one's going to have igloos on it. Another one is going to have cornets. We see that here, and another one is just going to be for transporting infantry. And this one is obviously for laser designation, which again, work in progress, but we'll have a laser designator, I should hope. So yeah, I'm excited to use these guys. Obviously, you know I love a flanky. Oh, whoa, hold on. I just noticed, if you look here, the speed 140. That is potentially game-changing. The fastest vehicles in the game are currently 130. That is huge. That is, yeah, that is going to be a flanker's wet dream. Goodbye, Kozileks. Hello, Gaz Tigers. 70 points, still pretty cheap, especially for the firepower that you get. 80 points for an Inkler version. Yeah, I'd take that any day. Okay, Yak 130, cool, bit of air power now. Just a cheap plane for Russia. It is. I think these were originally designed to be trainer planes, like, you know, like the Hawk, like the Red Arrows use, BAE Systems Hawk. They were actually designed to be planes. So in the RAF, people training to be pilots, they first start on propeller planes, then a faster propeller, then the Hawk, and then the Typhoon or F-35, whatever they, depending on how good they are. So yeah, that is what that is right there, a trainer plane. But clearly you can just stick some weapons on it and it becomes a fighter. Okay, Kamaz, yeah, cool. This is what I'm quite excited for. Basically, we know that we've got the Ural, the big Ural for 65 points. This is an even bigger version with more speed and more power. So it's a big, beefy Kamaz. Yeah, cool. Basically, Russia's answers to the Hemmet, apart from it's actually got more seating. The Hemmet can fit, what is it, 9 times 3 people? So 27, if I'm not mistaken. You can get 3 9-man squads in there. So this has got 32, so that's, well, a lot more men in the back of that. I think that's 4 8-man squads. There we go. If I'm not mistaken. Cool, the MiG-31. Now, this is something I'm really, really excited about. Now, obviously, I think people who love planes know that the MiG is one of the coolest. Okay, whoa, hold on. That's Mach 3. Again, that is going to be the fastest intercepting plane ever. That no other plane is this fast. I'm not sure how accurate these numbers actually are, because I don't know what this clock thing is. We don't see that anymore. But yeah, if that speed is to believe, so most planes right now are Mach 2, the fighters, which is 900 kilometers an hour in-game. If this is Mach 3, 1260, so 1,260 kilometers an hour, yeah, that could be, well, insane. That could outrun some missiles, actually. Just like the SR-71, which I think should be in the game, I'll be honest. I love the SR-71. The U-2 should be in game as well. However, it's not. Now, the SR-71 can also cruise at Mach 3, which is insane. Like, I love the SR-71. What a plane. The Concorde's also great, by the way. But yeah, that is an insane amount of thrust that this can produce. It is one of the fastest planes ever built, in all fairness. So yeah, that is going to be really interesting to see how that works with the current speeds of other missiles. I think it's going to be able to outrun quite a lot of stuff. Now, the missiles on it are we're familiar with, so 6 R-37s. That is actually pretty good, because usually you can get max 4 of them. 10% ECM is nice, good amount of fuel, which he'll need to burn all this, and some R-73s, which are close-range missiles. Quite a steep price tag, but you get a lot for your money there. Now, we're going to look at the 31 and basically the other variant and the other loadouts in a second, which is going to be exciting. But here we've got something else. So it's basically another version of the Smirch, looks exactly the same, but here you've got a fast reload, whatever that means. Now, why don't we have a little look, shall we? What was it called? 9K58. 9K58 Kama. Okay, it is just a Smirch, but what's a fast reload? Okay, it does look a bit different. So Kama is what, Kamaz, like the truck manufacturer. So yeah, it is a Tornado with less rockets. So that's 6 rockets. Speed reload, I wonder if that's just because they can replace the tubes really quickly or something like that. Or because it has this thing on the back. I don't know. I don't know. I do find military engineering in general very interesting, but I'm not familiar with this thing. At all, to be honest. Oh, okay, there we go. Maybe these two are the ones side by side. So, cool. Yeah, the Tornado, this one has got 12 missiles. This one has got 6. Cool, cool, cool. There we go. Right, back to it. So, yeah, if you can get a fast reload for 20 points, that's going to be used and abused. Now, unfortunately for people like me who hate support playstyles, not good news. Because I don't want just to see endless MLRS on the map. I want to see some actual tactics and brain power being used, but there we go. Cool, the Strela 10M. So, okay, an improved Strela. So, again, that's one of those speedy little vehicles that Russia's getting. I mean, all of these vehicles are real in Boomer, just there. Okay, Boomer. Yeah, so the Strela upgraded, so maybe it's going to be... The current Strela is 1,800 range, very good missile. It's fire and forget, but this one could be potentially with radar or something like that, so yeah, it could be cool to see how that works. Okay, here's the MiG-31, again with all of its speed and good stats, but with the Kinjal missiles. Now this is not a nuke, because there will be another picture of a nuke in a second. 325 points for one cruise missile. Now the Kinjal, if I understand correctly, is hyper, super duper sonic or whatever, you know, it's fast. It's super fast to the point that it's un-interceptable, if I understand correctly, because it goes at like Mach 6 or Mach 7 or whatever, which is an insane amount. Should I look it up? Kinjal missile. So if you have yeah, okay, there we go. That is a humongous missile. What's it? Oh, I thought that said Mach 8. Mach 10! Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be interceptable. Like, we already have some missiles with Russia on the Su-30 that you guys might know. I do really enjoy using them. That can't be intercepted just because they're too fast. But this is going to be even quicker. Again, I'm not sure if I'm the biggest fan of this because whilst it's going to be obviously super easy and I think there's going to be a lot of MiG-31 spam, uh, yeah, it's not that expensive for the amount of damage you can do with this thing. So again, it's uninterceptable. You'd be crazy not to use it. But we are going to see more cruise missile spam, which is not my cup of tea. But it's not all about me. Some players will enjoy this, I'm sure. Okay, so the Uragan, basically another little MLRS spamming vehicle. Yeah, looks exactly like a tornado. The difference is these, I think, if I'm not mistaken, are thermobaric rounds. So the range is 5 kilometers, which is similar to the Smerch, by the way. It's, yeah, the damage is 17. Okay, and it's got good penetration, and the blast radius is 110. So, yeah, pretty good. I'm not sure if this is the TOS 2 sort of equivalent. If I scroll, we'll be able to find out in a second, but I'm not too sure. We'll have to come back to this one. Oh no, it's just HE. It's not thermobaric. Okay. That's RCZO. I think that means MLRS in Russian. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, yeah, we just did see this F-35C. Everybody's been asking about the F-35C for ages because there are 3 variants of the F-35. They're basically all the same apart from the A is the Air Force version, B is the vertical VTOL version, which it'd be cool if they could do VTOL, but it's not going to happen. And the C is the Navy carrier landing version, so there we go. Interesting that the British Navy, the Royal Navy, I should say, only use F-35's B. So even though this is the special, version to be caught by the cables and stuff like that, they prefer the VTOL. But there we go, interesting bit of trivia. And if you didn't know, an F-35B, they left an engine cover on, so when they tried to take off the edge, it just plopped into the water. Lol. Good one. Nothing crazy about this so far. Can't see the other weapons. Not much to say. Rosgvardia. Now, I had to Google this, and the eagle-eyed of you would have noticed. I did think it was the National Guard of Russia, so like the reserves kind of thing. America has its own National Guard. The British has the Territorial Army, or, well, they've rebranded it a bit, but the TA sounded better. But yeah, this is just the reserves. So, 6 health, 7 men. Yeah, decent squad. Interesting that they've got an automatic shotgun in there. Yeah, not sure what that's all about, I'll be honest, but they got a machine gun and 5 RPGs, so yeah, 55 points though, pretty damn good, so it might be a really good cheap all-rounder. Like the Sturmoviki is the best squad for the price, hands down. This could be a good little version. Now, AK-105I, I'm not familiar with this weapon. Russia has so many different weapons, but it is a 5.45, so again, the standard caliber for AK-74s. The damage is 1.2, which is standard. Okay, it's basically just an AK-74 then. Not much difference there. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Spetsnaz Wimpel. The Wimple? I don't know. Again, we did see this earlier, so... let me go back onto here. So, we did see this earlier somewhere. Where was it? There's the Rosgvardia. Was it on here? No. I thought I saw... I did think I saw it somewhere else earlier, but... Okay, never mind. Let's go back onto... Oh god, where are they? Oh, there we go. Spetsnaz Wimpel. Okay, so we're very familiar with the VSS. AS Val, I am not familiar with that at all. That's what that is, the AS Val. Super cool looking weapon. Okay, but it's a 2.5. It's a recon squad with good armor, a good amount of men as well. So, and it's got some RPGs. Now, there's a thermobarics because obviously 10.5 damage. That's against infantry. So, a really good recon squad. Pretty expensive if you ask me. Not sure how much they'll be used because they do have really decent firepower. But yeah, it's more of a CQB team, I think. Sorry, more like a Chorne Biryathy kind of squad here. So. Interesting though, interesting. Good vision, good stealth. We'll see how it works out. But again, are we trying to go like Rangers RRC kind of thing or Forcon where we're just making all the units a bit too homogenous for my liking? Okay, Chabors. Okay, so this Dune big buggy is slower than that armored Gaz Tiger because it's 130. Yeah. It's basically like a little Kozlik. It's exactly like a little Kozlik, which does beg the question, why do we need it? We've got the Kozlik. But okay, it's got the cord and it's got the PKP on it. Now, actually, the machine gun on the Kozlik is more powerful because it's the old Russian Dushka kind of machine gun there. So, yeah, not too sure what sort of benefit this thing will have, but we finally get the Dune buggy. Cool. S400. Now, this is a topic of discussion for sure. So we already have, in the game, a lot of S300s. Now, the problem with those is that they're semi-active. I believe this is going to be terminal guidance, which is going to be obviously a massive game changer for Russia. Now, clearly, they don't expect this anytime soon, like with most of these units. This is the long-term future of the game. Not like, you know, Broken Arrow long-term means like a year. So yeah, Scimitar, cool vehicle. Right, this thing is 3,400 range. The S350 is 3,600. Only when you upgrade it, it's 3,200, 300 unupgraded. Yeah, so you're gonna have a terminal guidance missile that can one-shot planes because it's got 25 damage. Only 4 missiles, not a lot, but obviously if you're one-shotting, then that's pretty decent. So I used to always like to use the S300 Ante because, again, it had 4,500 range, which you need that range with semi-active missiles, and it would one-shot tanks. The S300s, the other ones, the Moto version, also does that with 4 missiles, but it's got a bit less range. It's like 4 kilometers or 4,300 if you upgrade it, but it becomes a bit expensive. So this might be the new favorite version, perhaps. Because all you need to do is switch your radar on to get the missile to fire, and then you can switch it off because terminal guidance will take over and it is pretty effective at hitting stuff. So essentially this is going to be, well, the new version of the Pack 3, apart from 1 missile at a time, and it is going to one-shot a lot of planes. So that's going to be a game changer with Russian AA not working quite as well as it perhaps should. So this is going to turn the balance for sure. I think everybody is going to be using S400s. For 200 points, that's a lot of power. Forward Observers, an American unit. Yeah, I mean, basically just like Cav Scouts, but they've got a laser designator and no javelin. So again, 55 points though. It's a very, very attractive unit. Oh, there's the FSB snipers. Cool. Right, let's have a look. What else? Okay, yeah, we're going to get all the... So the JLTV is already in game with a 50 cal, a sniper, and a javelin on it. Here's the much cheaper tow vision. So again, when you get the family of these guys, so you're going to have the javelin, you're probably going to have an AA version, a Stinger version, I imagine. It makes sense. You got to have the same... But again, we're making it very samey, like if America has it, Russia's going to have the exact same equivalent. Is that going to get a bit repetitive? I don't know. We'll see. Because more units, by the way, is great. More units. The more units, the merrier. I am happy with that. But yeah, here's the tow version. 50 points. Pretty cheap. Good vehicle. And you still get the M240. Alright, I'll take that. Okay, and there's that Tiger with the cornet. And that's the improved, better cornet. 1,800 range with, yeah, all the good numbers there. Only 80 missiles, which is interesting. No anti-infantry missiles, but 90 points for 140 speed. Huge. No smoke, though. That's important to note. Whereas these guys, I think they should have smoke. Ooh, can't remember. Yeah, these guys definitely will not. Pogranichniki. That just means the border force, and these are the old. Like this is one of my favorite unit icons because firstly, look at that chomper, look at that doggy. That is a beautiful, beautiful dog. I've also got a German Shepherd, and I love it. Yeah, this is the old Soviet uniforms of the border guard. Really cool picture. I mean, 30 points just to get your vision up. I mean, that was their point, to just patrol borders. 2.5 vision. Sorry, 2.5 stealth, standard. fighting recon vision. Not the best firepower. This is literally a throwaway cheap. Well, where's the dog? Maybe the dog could be an attack dog and, you know, just trade with one infantry. Man, go get it, doggy. No, I don't want any animals to get hurt whatsoever. Don't twist my words here. But yeah, this I'm really looking forward to it. You're just gonna have so much more recon, which is gonna be nice. Yeah, very weak recon, by the way. So if it gets spotted, it is toast. But yeah, cool. Right, already seen this one. There's the Super Tomcat. Hello, Top Gun fans. You're gonna love this. Yeah, again, this is something that's been promised to us for a very, 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 very long time. Again, prior to the game even being released, we saw pictures and graphics of it, which is why they already have it here as well. Yeah, I love the Super Tomcat. It should have high speed as well because it's got more power to weight ratio than most modern fighters. Beautiful plane. Phoenix missiles. Now, I wonder if with the old missiles, the old 9-kilometer range missiles, if they're going to be semi-active, not terminal guidance like the newer R-37s or whatever the... I can't remember the names of all of them. You know, the F-22 has terminal guidance long-range missiles, as does the F-18 Hornet. Mavericks, are they called? Yeah. So I wonder if the Phoenix missiles... Again, this is obviously an older generation of fighter. Just like on the... MiG-31, if they're going to be semi-active, so you're going to have to keep your aircraft pointed at that, or to keep vision and keep your aircraft pointed on that target before it hits. So yeah, we're going to have to wait and see. There's the FSB snipers. Again, really cool picture here, to be fair. There's that little rifle that they got. Again, I don't know what caliber it is, but it's going to do a lot of damage at 800 meters suppressed. So that's pretty good. Laser designator, yeah, all the usual good stuff. 3 stealth and 2000 vision, which is standard for snipers, with some pretty good CQB SMGs, which is what the PPK-20 is. So yeah, that is going to be cool. Again, I'm really I'm trying to put it together. What specialization is this going to come out? I thought that the first DLC for Russia will be Belarus, and we'd see stuff like the T-62 and stuff like that. But if one thing's taught us from the game is that the fact, well, you know, they're not lazy. I'm not saying they're lazy, but if it's already in-game, like it kind of is already, like we've seen with the Baltic units, then the chances are this will be the next thing in. So I don't know if it's going to be an FSB division. No. Is it going to be Wagner? Definitely not. Is it going to be, what, like just... special forces for Russia, like America has special operations, SOCOM. I'm not sure. Oh, excuse my dog. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, if you look at the bottom right corner there, yeah, 1047. Yeah, time jump. Okay, so yeah, we're looking at this drone. It's basically the exact same as the Global Hawk, isn't it? Now, what is cool is we see the MQ-8 Fire Scout, the drone helicopter, which is quite interesting. And obviously, it's not going to be able to be shot down by long-range missile systems. So I wonder what the price is going to be. Otherwise, this MQ-4C is basically just a Global Hawk. All the stats are the same. We've also noticed the Nemesis, which is basically like a mini Grad, speedy Grad on wheels, which I think the Baltics are going to get. So yeah, we'll see how that works out too. Anything else exciting here? No, not really. Navy SEALs, hoorah. Okay, Typhoon MRC. So right, Typhon, not Typhoon. Bit like a Python, but with a T. Tomahawk missiles on the back of a truck. Great. Essentially, this is the HIMARS, but not really. Again, great that we're seeing more units, but again, we're just seeing more cruise missile spam, aren't we? So the Tomahawk is a good missile. It still can be intercepted. It's just another version of a missile. Now, this is a ship missile, primarily used on ships and by the Navy. But yeah, okay, cool. Just more missile spam. Right, now here we go. Here's the super exciting bit, saved the best till last. MiG-31K with that humongous missile. Do we still have that picture? Yeah, cool. But this time, it's going to be a nuke. So, an un-interceptable nuke, potentially. Right? So, yeah. expensive price tag, but not much more expensive than normal nuke. So I wonder, yeah, what's this is going to be so OP. If this is genuinely a tactical nuke that cannot be intercepted, what's the catch? Where's the balance? Yeah, tactical nuke inbound, nothing you can do about it. Yeah, if this is how it's going to be, and you're not going to shoot this thing down because again, 1,260 speed with 10% ECM, low altitude back to base. Yeah, not a chance when you're firing from 10 kilometers away. So, yeah, no, yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm very excited to see this in game. I really, really am. But, yeah. Again, what bracket is this? But it's not going to come under Belarus. Belarus doesn't have nukes. So is it just going to be, again, an antiques of the Soviet war machine kind of setup? But the FSP isn't an antique. Neither is the Gaz is a little bit. Pograničniki definitely are, but yeah, a lot of the other stuff is quite modern in here as well. So yeah, there's that Gaz Tiger. Basically, like I say, it is just a bigger version of the Typhoon with apparently a much bigger engine. Again, I don't think this value will stay that. 7 men in the back, it is 30 points. That is super dirt cheap. Pretty good, so yeah. Typhoon K. Oh, by the way, the Typhoon VDV is 35 points, so this is much cheaper for a lot more manpower. And again, a lot more speed as well. A Typhoon K. Now, I love this truck because back in the Armour days, this is what I drive. I just love the look of it. It's such a cool looking, beastie little truck. Yeah, I'm going to fanboy over this vehicle. 60 points, kind of expensive. 14 men only, no supply, but that's 2 squads on a speedy truck. Oh, you know what? It's just clicked. Of course it's clicked. It's going to be the National Guard. That's going to be the first DLC. The National Guard, so the Rosgvardia. Yeah, it's so straightforward. Again, here we are, and this is going to be the logo of them, for sure. Yeah, of course it is, because all of these units, like they've got some decent land units, as we see, some decent home defense units, and when you watch the 9th of May victory parades, which is Russia celebrating the Great War, the Great Patriotic War, World War II, basically. Yeah, the Rosgvardia does make an appearance and it does whip out a lot of these units. And it makes sense that the MiG-31 is a home defense fighter because it's not cutting edge, but it's a good fast interceptor. So, yeah, and Russia's a big country, a lot of ground to cover. Again, for National Guard and home defense, the FSB, the CIA, the Russian CIA equivalent, or FBI equivalent, I suppose, it is the perfect... Yeah, there we go. We've sorted it out. Pograničniki, exactly. Yeah, home defense. It's a National Guard job. Okay, yeah, we have made... And the Spetsnaz groups, like the Spetsnaz and the Alpha team, they are for domestic use, mainly. It's all coming together. Yeah, the Alpha group is for counter-terrorism. So again, home defense, National Guard kind of job. There we go. There we go. We've got it. Here's a first. The National Guard is going to be the Russian National Guard. This Rosgvardia is 100%. 100%. I have got a great brain. I didn't plan this. Wow, I'm amazing. Is going to be the first Russian DLC for sure. Cool. This vehicle was also in leaked nice and early on. This one is with the thermobaric rockets. So just like the TOS 1, the Buratino, it's got the big thermobaric shells. This is the TOS 2 though. It's on wheels. It's a lot faster, which means that you can move it to and fro from supply a lot quicker. Obviously, no armor, but hopefully you're not going to get this vehicle found and you're not going to get it hit. I'm pretty sure the range is the same as the TOS 2 missiles of that. Next vehicle, or is that it? Oh, that is, yeah, that is it. So, okay. We've learnt a lot of things. And through my genius, I guess I figured out what the next Russian DLC is going to be. Again, we don't know when that's going to come. It's taken 6 months, or, well, it's not even out yet, is it? It's taken 6-7 months, probably longer, for the Baltics to come out, and they were in there from the start. These have just made an appearance, so it's the first time they've been leaked to make an appearance, apart from, again, we know that they have been in the game from the start. So, guess my prediction is going to be, what, another 6 months from here? So July? Yeah, probably July. Hope the game is still thriving by that point, but again, we are going to have to see. Alright guys, this has been fun. This has been a very fun experiment. Yeah, what a relevation. Yeah, lots of good, exciting units. Lots of stuff. Again, what a legend. Yeah, lots to look forward to in 2026 for Broken Arrow. Now, what you got to do is forget everything you've seen, pretend that you're wearing Men in Black, the camera's gone off, and you forget everything. Because, as far as I know, I'm not a dev, I'm not in with the team. This could all be absolute lies, and who knows. But there we go. Hope you enjoyed watching it. A fun video to make, fun video to talk about. I really had fun here, so there we go. Cheers for watching, guys. Hope to see you next time. Like, comment, and subscribe to help me out. Bye-bye.